Up for the people, yeah, yeah. Down with capitalism, boom, boom. Up for the people, yeah, yeah. Down with capitalism, boom, boom. Up for the people, yeah, yeah. Down with capitalism, boom, boom.
Want to trade signs? Embers. That is the guy with that tan.
See it. It's a big crowd out here today.
That's right. You knew that they used to
But you know, some people don't know that we've received.
Yes, she's down there with the red bull.
Yeah, most recent treaty on channel recognized right here. I put up a sign.
Yeah, I didn't know it was Human Rights Day until I seen this event tied to it where they mentioned it. So. No, I didn't even say.
Got all the peppers sprayed with signs and prints all over you. Show her a picture.
Oh, here he is. I see him.
I just put it on his shirt. I got I love it. I love it. No, I'm really gonna make that now. Starved to death and
Oh, I have to make a series. Yeah, we couldn't get the phone. Because things like, fuck that phone. Right.
I know you left. Joe. Hi, how are you? Thank you for coming, man. You bet. Okay.
He's happy to talk to you. These guys will talk to you.
Good. Okay. I'm just trying to find out what's going on here.
Oh, dude. Okay, so what we're doing is actually standing up for people's rights. Okay, I mean, there are so many people that are being affected by budget cuts right now. We just spoke to recently, within the last month, a summit that told us straight out. Our Mayor Adams said the next 2 years are going to be real bad for social services. So that means that anybody, seniors, handicapped, mentally ill folks that are living on the streets right now are going to be affected by these cuts. They need someone to help stand up for them and demand their rights, or at least fight for their rights. That's what we're doing.
So thus you guys are out here on the street in front of City Hall?
Absolutely.
Bringing attention to this issue.
Yep.
Demanding some action of some kind of
We'd
human
like
rights.
them to acknowledge alternative methods of helping folks on the street. Okay, those that need help, that don't need to be paid for.
Now, is this organized through R2DToo?
This is a Right to Survive project, yes.
Yeah.
We are Right to Dream Too, that is out here doing this. We do this 24/7.
Good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and another thing I want to add is that the city fines us monthly, and they want to start fining us daily. Copious amounts of money, saying that we're a recreational campground. And we are anything but a recreational campground. I challenge any county official to spend a night down there and to see how we operate. And we bring in 25 to 40 people a week that would a day that would normally be sleeping in the doorways and on the streets of Portland to come down and see what we do. We're anything but a recreational campground. We're nothing but a survival place.
Right. You guys are helping a lot of people. You're doing a lot of good things. People are very thankful for what you guys are doing. And the city should join in with you.
Exactly. And we're trying them to drop the fine, get off our back a little bit, because the business areas around where we operate tolerate us because we've done such a good job. And we help out people a lot. And we need support.
Right on. Thank you.
We have a solution.
Stop being nervous.
Yay, Pete!
I know. R2, when I say R2, you say D2. When I say R2, you say D2. R2. D2. R2. D2. When I say R2, you say D2. R2. D2. R2. D2. Thank you.
Right to Dream is here to stay!
We will not go away!
Right to Dream
2 is here to stay!
We will not go away!
Right to Dream 2 is here to stay!
We will not go away! Yeah, baby!
Sleeping is not
Portland, Portland, hear our cry. Without housing, people die. Portland, hear our cry. Without housing, people die. Pennies, nickels, quarters, dimes. Danny Saltzman, drop the fine. Penny, nickels, quarters, dimes. Danny Saltzman, drop the fine. What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Now! Go with it. Come on, Mama.
sleep is a right, not a crime.
Freedom is a right, not a crime. What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
That's right. What do we want?
Now!
That's right.
That's right.
Whose streets?
Our street!
Whose city?
Our city!
Whose parks?
Our parks!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose city?
Our city!
Whose parks?
Our parks!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose city?
Our city!
Whose parks?
Our parks!
City says get back. We say fight back.
Yeah!
City says get back. We want. City says get back.
We say fight back!
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 All right.
Yeah!
Housing is a human right. Sleeping is a human right. Dreaming is a human right. We all have the right to dream too. Absolutely.
I'm
Up with the
raw.
people. Yeah, yeah. Down with capitalism. Boom, boom. Up with the people. Yeah, yeah. Down with capitalism. Boom, boom. Up with the people. Yeah, yeah. Down with capitalism. Boom, boom. Up with the people. Yeah, yeah. Down with capitalism. Boom, boom. Up with the people. Yeah, yeah. Down with capitalism. Boom, boom.
Hello everyone, I'm Ibrahim Mubarak from Right to Survive, Right to Dream 2 and co-founder of Dignity Building. We're here today on National Human Rights Day, and I want everybody to take notes on Article 25, which the city is not practicing, and that's why we're here, because they impose unjust laws and fines on the houseless people, on the people who don't have a place, a safe place, a warm, safe place, a warm, dry, safe place to sleep. So we're here to protest and to give the city a lawsuit, a certificate of our lawsuit that we're suing them for improper use and mismanagement of our human rights.
Yeah!
And that, and that Right to Dream 2, which we call R2DToo, which is on 4th and Northwest Burnside, we've been there for a year and 2 months now. And as of yesterday, 4 people just got housed. And in the year we've been there, 30 people got housed, 27 people found work without no help from the city, with the help of themselves and ourselves. We have no overdose. We have no police contact. We have nobody misbehaving. We all going there. We're being productive. And then that, in saying that, a congregation from Eugene, Oregon, and Ashland, Oregon has asked us to help them build replica models of Right to Dream 2, and that let us know that it works. So today I want to introduce the man who helped us. Without him, we wouldn't have been able to do it as efficiently as we have. His name is Michael Wright, and he want to explain his involvement, his relationship to Right to Dream 2, and the understanding of houseless issues.
No, just talk. Get closer.
I'm here this morning to support Back Right to Dream 2.
Up to your mic, to your mouth.
Up here? Yeah. Okay. I support them. I'm proud of them. They've done a lot of good. I'm also here with a little sense of anger that a group of individuals inside that building who have never experienced hunger or inclement weather other than by choice are calling this a recreational campground when the most recreation they get is trying to eat and stay out of the weather. I'm angry, I'm disappointed. And I support Right to Dream 2, and I'm very proud of them.
That was the landowner, Mike Wright, who graciously let us sleep on his land, on his property, which the city is trying to find him also. And next, I want to introduce the guy who helped and helping us the most of all is Mike Kramer from the Kramer and Associates, and he's a member of the National Lawyers Guild. Mark Kramer.
Hold it real close and real loud.
Good morning. On behalf of
Hold it close to your mouth.
I'm proud to be here as an attorney with the National Lawyers. I'm proud to be here as an attorney with the National Lawyers Guild, which is dedicated to the need for basic and progressive change in the structure of our political and economic system, to the end that human rights shall be regarded as more sacred than property interests. Now here, there's a synchrony between Right to Dream 2 and the landowners. So I am representing both the landlords and the tenants in a unified battle against an unresponsive. I am representing the tenants and the landlords together, who are unified against the responsive and unsympathetic city to the needs of the homeless. Before I filed this lawsuit today, we sat down with the city twice to address the city's health and safety concerns. They couldn't tell us they had any health and safety concerns. We asked the city to help relocate Right to Dream 2 to a site with access to social services and transportation. The answer is go look for yourself and let us know when you find a place. We asked the city to suspend the fines, to suspend the assessments while we negotiated in good faith. We didn't ask them to reverse them, we said suspend them while we sit down at the table. The answer was no. Finally, we filed a lawsuit today. The city says Right to Dream 2 is occupying a recreational park, like a Boy Scout camp, like a Girl Scout camp, like a KOA. Right to Dream 2 is not a Boy Scout camp, is not a Girl Scout camp, is not a recreational camp. It's a temporary shelter for homeless people because the city cannot meet the needs of the homeless in our society.
That's right.
There is a solution. State law says that Right to Dream 2 can be designated as a transitional housing accommodation, just like Dignity Village. They have a place, they have a code, and that's what Right to Dream 2 wants. And that's what we're asking the city to do. In the meantime, we're asking the judge to say that this is not a recreational campground, that Right to Dream 2 has the right to stay there, that the fines and assessments should be reversed, and that we should sit down with the city of Portland at the table and negotiate their concerns. And if the city of Portland does not want Right to Dream 2 occupying 4th and Burnside in a safe and sanitary and healthy way, responsive to the needs of the landowners, responsive to the needs of the community, then find us a place. Find us a place to go. A place that has access to transportation, a place that has access to social services. So we call upon the city of Portland to cancel the fines and assessments, to work with Right to Dream 2 to address any health and safety concerns that may exist, and if necessary, to find a new site for Right to Dream 2 so that people can live in dignity and in security. Thank you.
Okay, whenever y'all speak, I'm getting you the mic. Hold it close to your mouth like this so we can hear everybody, because we know it's important to say. And now I want to introduce Mark Eckerson. He's a dreamer. He's been there for about 5 months, and we'd like to hear what he has to say.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Eskelson, and I represent Right to Dream 2. I not only volunteer to help the houseless, and I reside at R2DToo. My wife Jacqueline and I have been dreamers for 2 months and overnighters for 1.5 months before that. We arrived in Old Town 4 months ago with nothing left except for our love for one another. We discovered Right to Dream 2 in early August. Looking back now, I consider that R2DToo may have saved my life. I was in poor physical as well as mental health. And when Jackie and I arrived at 4th and Burnside in early August, being able to lay down and for the most part sleep on a daily basis has been the biggest step towards feeling normal that I have experienced at Right to Dream 2. In a nutshell, R2DToo houses 80 people a day who are not sleeping in the streets or in doorways. That's 2,400 people a month and around 29,000 people in the last 14 months since R2DToo became established. Oh, yeah. All this with absolutely no help from the city of Portland. R2DToo survives all on private donations. We help house, clothe, sometimes feed the homeless, and the city of Portland has been fining R2DToo $1,200 a month for illegal campground. We are all here today to unite as one and stop the fines and squash the old ones. Pennies, nickels, dimes. Dan Salzman, squash the fine. Pennies, nickels, dimes. Dan Salzman, squash the fine. Pennies, nickels, dimes. Dan Salzman, squash the fine. Anyway, to me, Right to Dream 2 is my temporary home. It means hope, rest without harassment, or sleeping with one eye open. It has completely changed my wife, Jackie. She loves to volunteer and truly loves helping our homeless and houseless friends.
Yeah! Yeah, Jackie!
I like this me.
Many positive changes have occurred for my wife and I at R2DToo. We sleep much better at night. We're part of a group that takes care of houseless and homeless people while trying to maintain peace and order within Right to Dream 2 at the same time. That in itself has given us a sense of belonging, and in our own way, we've been given the opportunity to give back something positive of ourselves to the community. I sincerely want to thank everyone here today for joining together to help Right to Dream 2 at City Hall. Without everyone's help, support, it wouldn't be possible for a lot of people to stop in at R2DToo out of the cold and rain and rest undisturbed. I also want to thank Ibrahim Mubarak for his never-ending perseverance and hard work in making Right to Dream 2 a reality. Thank you very much, and have a great
day. All right, thank you much. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the unspeakable, the impossible, Ajamu Ami.
All right!
Ajamu, he's a member of the Black Working Group organization in local communities and resists foreclosures and eviction.
How's everybody doing? Everybody deserves a right to decent housing. Everybody does. And it's a disgrace that these Nazi thugs would harass R2DToo. It's a disgrace. And that's why we stand in complete solidarity, unity with each and every one of you out here today. And that's why when they tried to evict Darren and Patricia Williams and Johnson out there, and they pepper sprayed us, 2 weeks later we moved them back in. And the police had boarded the house up. Show you how dumb they are. They boarded the house up. Then we moved the people back in, and they tried to get in. They couldn't get in because they boarded the house back up. Show you how dumb they are. So we're not going to let anybody be out here and not do something about it. So we're organizing what we call a community agreement.
We've got committees organized in every area of Portland. And what we're doing is we're going to go door to door. We're going to tell people we don't want any more evictions. We don't want any empty houses. We want to put people in every empty house in Portland. And we want to protect that right and make Portland a sanctuary city for housing justice. Everybody deserves a decent place to live. Every woman, every man, every child, every dog, every parakeet, everybody deserves a decent place to live. And we're going to make it happen. Churches in the house. I want to introduce the person who keeps me going and feed me soup at night, Lisa Faye.
Yeah, Lisa!
Thank you. This is a time where we need to gather our strength. This is a day of significant importance. This is a day where those of us who have experienced houselessness are standing up to our beloved city and demanding our human rights.
Yeah. Yes.
Woo! It is only fitting, being World Human Rights Day, that we have this lawsuit being filed. The UN declared we can expect to have certain human rights, like adequate housing, in Article 25.
Yes.
Our tax dollars bailed out Wall Street. Our banks turned around and foreclosed on our homes. Industry cut back production, outsourced our jobs, leaving us without a safety net, without work, out of our homes, and out of options. It's time for a change. Instead of finding ways to address the growing numbers of houseless in our cities, our government is finding more ways to harm and destroy people's lives. Fining people by making it illegal to camp for survival. Closing sidewalks and telling you where you may sit. Shutting down towns at sunset and making it illegal to sleep in your car on public property, or spending a night in the park. The idea, the concept of Right to Dream 2 is to provide a safe, undisturbed sleep for the unhoused communities. Right to Dream 2 is much more. It's self-governing, self-policing. It's a community-building support for those of us who have been left behind by our society, where self-esteem, empowerment, and growth return to the people, where feelings of being out there alone, unwanted, and discarded are not part of our community. Right to Dream 2 is always finding ways to build community, make alliances, connect on a grander scale, and to be able to be creative without government taxes or funding. This is why we need to be outraged by the city of Portland fining the houseless, a way of taxing for trying to cling to a place where they can call a building block to a better future. Portland, come together, get everyone involved in solidarity to fight for human rights, and communities like R2DToo, having laid the groundwork for replication, for having created a base for people to re-enter the workforce, rebuild lives, strengthen the community, and skills in communication and participation, and we spark creativity and ingenuity. R2DToo is here to stay. R2DToo is here to stay.
R2DToo is here to stay.
R2DToo is here to stay.
R2DToo is here to stay.
This is National Human Rights Day, and it's also gives me a pride to introduce a person who kept me and my spirituality intact, even though it's different. But she talks to me all the time, and we shop and compare, and she is a human rights activist herself. This is Minister Kate Lord.
Good morning. Good morning. There's 2 points I want to make today. One is, in the book of Proverbs, it says something very important, which is, a people without a vision will perish. And I say, we have vision here, don't we? Yes. The other point is, the times are changing. We can't use the old ways to fix the current problems, right? So R2DToo has shown us a new way. Now, they're not the first. We had one once before, and it's called Dignity Village. And we worked hard to find a good place where folks at Dignity Village could come in and have easy access to transportation and services, and they pushed us out. Neighborhoods pushed us out, so Dignity Village is way out by the airport now. And there's no other spaces. The shadows are full, the empty lots are full, and folks need access to human services and transportation. And I tell you, I now feel safe on the corner of Burnside and 6th. It's the only place in Portland that I feel safe as a woman at night. In fact, I feel safer there than I do walking in front of my own home. So, you will not perish because you have vision. Let us keep R2DToo open, and shame on you, Dan Solzman, for looking for old answers for current problems.
Shame on you!
Shame on you!
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
And I want to introduce Sage Sterling. She's an advocate for the Colombian workers who's being misused and mistreated by General Motors, a corporation of this country. Well, corporate corporation of this corporation of a country. That's big old page, right? American.
Can you hear me? R2DToo? Yeah! Excellent. I want to give you a great big thanks. You are one of the groups here in town that has given out more solidarity bracelets for these General Motors workers that were injured on the job. And I think there's a reason for that. I think that you understand what they're going through. These workers have been out on the street for 497 days today, sleeping in a shelter that they built in front of the U.S. Embassy asking for justice. They were fired for injuries that they developed on the job. I know a number of you have injuries that you developed on the job. They're losing their houses. They don't have a way to feed their families. And there's another thing. Whether it's the city or the embassy, the powers that be don't want them there. They don't want you there. The solidarity between R2DToo and Azotrecol has been very strong. And I ask you today, if you can please put a post on General Motors' Facebook page in solidarity with these workers. They're on the 3rd week of their hunger strike. They're asking for justice from General Motors. They want General Motors to negotiate with them. Thank you very much.
And Nick, we gonna put a supportive William on. You want to give you some statistics about the vacant houses here?
Folks, just so that we have some real, honest-to-God facts that we can talk about, the U.S. Commerce Department tracks vacant housing, tracks total amount of housing in the country, and has done it for at least since 1980. So you can go on the website for the Commerce Department. Their statistics, as of just about a year ago, and I don't know how much they've changed in the last year, but as of about a year ago, we had just under 19 million vacant apartments and houses in this country, and we have about 3.5 million homeless people. We have 5 vacant housing units for every homeless person in the country. That does not include vacant government buildings. That does not include vacant commercial and business buildings. That does not include vacant resorts and hotels and motels. That does not include all the vacant RVs that are parked all over the country. there is no shortage of housing in this country. There is a shortage of love for our brothers and sisters that need housing.
Now I want to introduce Greg McGoldrick. Everybody know Greg McGoldrick, right? Everybody know Greg is the cornerstone on helping us find a lawyer. When every lawyer told us we was too political, Mark Kramer and Greg got together and said, we're going to help those people out because they need help. They helping themselves and they showing us how it can be done. So Greg McGoldrick is an advocate worker with Jobless Justice. He's been working for a long, 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 long time. So here go Greg, everyone.
If I've been working that long, it's because I'm old. This is great for all of you to turn out. Thank you so much. You know, it's always kind of the beginning of the struggle. Every day seems to be the beginning, and we just have to keep up the fight. And I'd rather live fighting and losing than not fighting and losing. So let's win, though, in this one. The main reason I'm up here is just to say that there's a lot going on today, and I wanted to let people...
Which office are you looking for?
We're actually looking for 3. And Salt. Yeah.
You guys going to Commissioner Fisher's office?
Actually, we're going to be looking for 3. We're going to be going to...
Okay, anybody else got someplace else to go?
I'll be going to Adams' office.
Okay, Mr. Adams, okay. Oh, that's the mayor.
Right.
And who else?
Salsa.
Mayor, Salsa, and Bill. Okay. Okay.
Basically, what's the good day at homelessness awareness you were there?
I was there at one of the meetings on awareness.
Yeah, actually, sir.
You were there. What can I do for you?
I'm just going to go ahead and talk.
He's not here.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Yeah, representative.
I'm his public advocate. I'll talk to you. What would you like to do?
I was just going to hand him over a copy of the possible boxes that we're going to be applying against the city.
Sure.
From next week.
All right, yeah, sure. You just want to hand it to me to pass on to him? Yeah. All right. Thank you. Okay.
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 Just closer, so it's gonna go.
No problem. I appreciate that.
So now makes it easy for everybody, right?
Good.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going someplace else now?
Fish was not here. His public representative was.
This is right here.
So
you want to go to Saltzman and then?
Okay, is this Saltzman?
That was handed to Fish's office there, right? Yeah.
Might want to try to get 1 or 2 of these statements.
All right, see you.
Okay. See you later.
Excuse me?
I need to speak with Commissioner Saltzman, please.
He's not in at the moment.
Okay, does he
Did you
have
want
a
to leave?
representative here?
You can talk to us.
Okay. Well, this is like, well, Richard, she has been trying to work with him and the rest of the commissioners and the mayor for the last 14 months. We have not come to a peaceful agreement.
What's the organization?
So, R2DToo. It's the best area on 4th and Burnside. So
Okay.
at this point, we feel we have no choice. We're filing suit against the city, and
Okay.
this is his
This is
copy.
it. Okay.
Thank you.
Did you give it to the attorneys? Did you go upstairs?
Actually, there was a copy filed with the circuit court and will be filed with the property city. This is a courtesy copy, so Mr. Saltzman will be aware of what is.
It's that down there.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So now we...
Thank you.
So now we're going to the mayor's office, right?
Good job. You like that?
Would you do me a favor? You could probably help me out by calming people down here. Sir, would you come downstairs and help us with this down here? Well, we can go through the other way. We go all the way up. If you just come down here with us.
Do we have one more to deliver still?
Would you speak to these people and calm them down? Sir, would you Would somebody speak to the people here? Would somebody speak speak to the people here?
I'm not one to speak.
Who got the deal? Come on.
Let's go up. Now let's go. Come on, man.
He's not available. He's in a meeting. He's in a meeting. Yeah, this is right.
Hi.
Yeah, you can talk to him.
What is this about, sir?
We're going to say, yo, this dude got a hold of it.
Can we?
I work over there.
That's why I stand in the way for y'all.
So
You guys have to know what's going on. We have some paperwork for either the mayor or his assistant.
And
And I would like to present why you want to know what it's about. And I will get one.
You want to hand some paperwork.
Tell me what the paperwork's about. And
You're
I
not
will
his
go deal with
assistant.
it.
Hey, we want to talk to the assistant.
And we're not going to do it.
And we're not going to hand you guys papers because we don't know who you are, really. You can tell me you're his
One of them in
assistant.
office, we got
No,
public
that's
service.
fine. So I'm the operations manager for the office, and so I interface with all staff, and I'm the one who talks to people. I talk to people who come in, and so talk to me. What have you got? Let's see.
We have some paperwork on him that we would like to send Adams or
Okay.
his assistant.
I can do that.
No, we want Adams are the assistant.
We won't be.
The mayor's in a meeting.
What about his assistant? It's only going to take 3 minutes.
No, I get it.
Okay.
But the difference between handing it to me and handing it to the mayor's executive assistant, I don't think there's much of a difference. But
So,
what's that?
the reasoning we are not going to give the paperwork to you and we
Yeah.
want to give it to the assistant is because we've dropped paperwork off before and it has not reached them.
Got it.
In this case, we want to make sure, we want to document that we put it in there.
It's a pretty serious matter.
Great. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, look.
All right.
You tell them, I promise I'll be short, sweet, and painless, okay? Better than your research.
Yeah.
So the mayor will be out in 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Take steps back from the front desk.
Okay, why are you pushing me, dude?
Easy there, Keller.
Did you guys change your money?
How's you guys?
Oh, now you want to use it. Yeah, one of the people, and it wasn't in the large group, but just when people were outside, someone went into the bathroom. People off the street were not allowed to use the restroom, which I was under the understanding that that was public, visits are.
So people off the street weren't told that they weren't allowed to use the restroom?
That phrase was used.
People off the street use the restroom every day.
Well, somebody today was turned away using that phrase, people off the street.
2 people at a time in the restroom.
Okay, but you told me that the restroom,
Pardon me?
you said that I was not allowed to use the restroom and go to the Portland building, to be honest.
There were probably already 2 people in the restroom.
You could explain that to two people and she could wait.
You could have told her to wait.
Right, the point is that it really, wasn't, it felt really discriminatory, and I think that's a problem. We're treating people different. I think if someone came in a suit, they would be told the same thing.
And not only that, they were slamming the doors when they tried to get in today.
People not allowed
right,
never
we could
known
let
it to
people know
happen.
to wait.
But
We were
Anybody who's spending time out in front of City Hall knows that. You should speak to them.
Well, that's why I was surprised to hear someone turn to me in that manner today.
I've actually slept out front quite a bit and been trying to run from the restroom. Straight up been told like, oh sorry, not today.
Well, either the restroom was closed then,
But what do
or
you-
their building was closed.
Wouldn't you tell people the reason why they can't use the restroom instead of shooing them somewhere else?
Ma'am, I wasn't down there, so
But you're headed down, so
addressing.
you don't train your people properly so they can
All I
tell
know
everybody,
is
anybody?
what normal procedure is.
Normal, what's that? So you turn away houseless people and don't give them definitions?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, you might want to.
I worked down there part of the day, and I've not seen what you're talking about unless the restrooms were either currently being cleaned or there were already 2 people in there.
You just plainly treat houseless people like shit. You treat houseless people like shit. We're people just like you. We just don't have houses. And you're a stuck-up motherfucker because you think you got a house.
Watch them out.
Let's have some moment of silence for all the houseless and the dying while we wait for Mayor Adams.
And I'd also, real quick, like to say that this man has actually like worked with me via the vigil for the people living outside and has like requested for me to be able to talk to the mayor in the past. So even though like housing justice makes me just as mad, but we need to try and offer respect. We're not going to get any respect at all.
That's true.
Unless we give it.
Yeah, what we need to do here is focus our anger in a correct manner to where everybody can. Well, right now, you guys are in a fairly serious violation of what the city hall
So can you tell me what those violations are then?
What our rules are when we have a group of people,
Rules and violations.
just to avoid conflict, we have 5 people at a time come up and address whoever they want to.
So is that a
But
violation or a rule?
a group of a dozen or 60, all that does is create chaos.
it's not chaos.
So, 'cause
It looked peaceful until y'all put your hands on.
That is true.
Yeah.
You put your hands on a woman.
The security guard put his hands on me.
Was it to keep you out of here?
No, he grabbed my arm. Yeah.
I wasn't
City Hall belongs to
that.
Oh, you weren't down there at that time when your offense was going on.
Yeah, you know, there isn't fighting people that are trying to
I'm not trying to get in the fight.
Okay, but even if you're trying to kick us out, so you're telling me, hold on, I just have a question. So you're telling me that even though you're trying to kick us out, that a man can put hands on a woman to kick us out? Is that what you're saying? Because that's what I just got.
I didn't say that, but I don't find that unreasonable.
Well, you just said that if you were kicking us out, then it's okay for a man or a security person to put hands on somebody because that dude just put hands on her because you guys were trying to, kick us out?
If it was
Of a public place, right? This is public where anybody can come in because you come here every day, right?
You should probably wait and talk to the mayor. You're trying to put words in my mouth, and I don't.
Oh, now you know how we feel, right? That's why I just said, now you know how we feel.
A lot of frustration with things like, I mean, I think it kind of started with that person getting friendly.
That was me. I had to use the restroom and you told me no. And you told me to go to the Portland building. And they didn't explain to me why. Now I know that only 2 people were allowed in the bathroom. Why is that?
We could probably just, do a police report later. Let's just wait for
I'm not asking questions. I just want to know what's the rules.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome to City Hall. Glad you're here.
Awesome.
Hi, Sam. How are you? Good morning, Sam. How are you? How are you, sir? Good to see you. Welcome to your building. Did you see the wall of mostly dead mayors? And me?
You're up there? You're live and kicking.
Barely. I'm over here. Whose hand did I know?
Mine too.
Hi, how are you? I really appreciate your advocacy. Hi, how are you?
No, thank you.
Fine. How are you? I'm used to that. How are you, sir? Good to see you. So you have petitions for me?
Well, actually, Mayor Adams said it's not a petition.
Oh.
I understand you are leaving office shortly, and I know it's been a good run. Okay. Also,
We at Right to Dream Too, as you know, have tried to negotiate in good faith with the city on several occasions as far as how we're designated as a rest area as opposed to a recreational campground. You know, there's nothing recreational about that, as well as I do, to be reasonable about it. Okay, nothing can be considered recreational. So unfortunately, we have come to the point where, as much as I love this great city of Portland that I call my home, okay, we have served paperwork to file suit against the city of Portland today to abate the fines, to classify Right to Dream Too as it should be, okay, not as a recreational campground. Negotiate with the people who live there and the landowners in good faith. Gotcha. So I just great reluctance. I have to give you that paperwork, but it's something we needed to do.
I understand, and I certainly respect respect your advocacy, and respect this is absolutely your right to pursue this. So, and I appreciate the fact that you came down here and delivered it to the mayor personally, and I'll make sure that the mayor-elect gets this as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, you bet.
You are thankful that we wanted to deliver it to you personally, but in return, you should know that this is a very public building. If you want to avoid conflict, your security guards should not put their hands on individuals. And if you appreciate the paperwork being delivered to you personally, you should probably let your staff know so. Because it was hell getting in here to deliver that to you.
So, ma'am, what's your name?
Oh, you knew it when you saw me at the bar the other night.
I don't know. I meet a lot of people. I will tell you this. You have to worry about my security, and not everyone that comes into City Hall has the best of intentions for City Hall or their mayor, so they have a job to do. And in terms of folks, I have people on a waiting list to meet with me, so I do try to pop out when people visit me to take things personally. But there are other people who've made appointments weeks in advance, and so we have to deal with the complexity of all that. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
That was wow. You went in the other night at the bars.
Hold on, Mark.
Apparently.
Okay, so let's go to the door.
Nice job. Nice job. Wow. We've delivered the message. Some actually wasn't even later right there.
Sir.
What's going on down here?
Apparently, we're some dangerous people. There's some dangerous people running around somewhere.
Is this all for the people that went in City Hall?
You know what? I think so.
Because you know what? The mayor thanked everybody for coming in.
Yeah, you actually did a good job. Thank you very much.
Major.
This just cost the city, I don't know how many millions of dollars.
Yeah, well, tax dollars, no doubt. And I do have a job. I own my own business, and I occupy. I am an activist.
Hey, Dave.
I'm so proud of all you guys.
Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Oh! Woo!
Hey, I was in the mayor's office filming the people went inside. Is this all because the people went inside the building? Or is this...
I would direct you to our PIO.
And his name, Pete Simpson. Is he going to be out here, do you think? Is he around?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
You can always call the...
yeah, come outside
you can always
here.
call the chief's office.
Get a little...
And get a hold of Pete Simpson up there.
Pete Simpson.
He's a sergeant.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.
Yeah, you bet.
Were they saying we were bad or something? I'm going to tell you.
So we did that, we handed it to them, and I guess they closed the building down, and this is how they use their money, their power to separate differences and social status. If we had all been in suits and the business community, they wouldn't have closed the building down and we all would have been in there. But since we're homeless people, homeless advocate and homeless advocate, they locked the building down and told us we couldn't go. We are the people. That's right. We are the ones in the streets. That's right. We are the ones that's fighting for our rights and they just neglecting us. This is National Human Rights Day. We have a right to speak up. We have a right to fight for our speech. We have a right to do this. And they're trying to stop our rights. So I just want to thank everybody here, and we're going to keep fighting for human rights. We're going to keep fighting for houseless people. We're going to keep fighting for people that's being evicted out their homes. We're going to keep fighting for health care. We're going to keep fighting for people to take showers. We're going to keep fighting for the unions. We're going to keep fighting for the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. All right, thank you.
Up with the people! Down with capitalism! Up with the people! Down with capitalism! Portland, hear our cry! We got housing people die! Portland, hear our cry! We got housing people die! Portland, hear our cry!
Joe? The security guard inside was a real asshole. He put his hands on people.
The guy in the street car?
Yeah, inside the city hall.
Yeah, with capitalism. Up with the people. Yeah. Down with the capitalism. Up with the people.